Welcome back to class. I am so excited to help you unlock your brain's natural pain relief systems so that you can have as much pain relief as you want and get close to that legend of a painless birth as you want. So, have you ever even heard the idea of a painless birth? If not, I want to share with you the legend of a painless birth, which came from this doctor right here, Dr. Grantley Dick Reed, who was a World War II OBGYN. Now, a painless birth, where does this idea come from? And how is it that some women suffer so much when others seem to suffer no discomfort or pain at all? Well, this question was opened by this doctor, and all the research that we have about birth and pain wouldn't be possible without this moment in his career. One night, Dr. Reed gets called to a birth. He arrives at this house. Poor situation. House only lit by a candle. There's a trough of water, not even running water, you guys. Such a humble beginning. The mom is laboring and Dr. Reed is supporting her. And as is his normal custom, he offers her some medical pain relief to help her through the process. And yet, she firmly, yet strongly denies and goes on to have her baby with seemingly no discomfort at all. Dr. Reed was astonished by this, and in later conversations with this woman asked her, why did you decline medical pain relief? Why? It seems like everybody needs it. And she simply replied, it wasn't supposed to be painful, was it? Now, for most of us, that's all we know. And we don't even all want a painless birth. That doesn't have to be the goal if you're here. But you do need to know that it is possible and that some women experience birth that way. So in this lesson, as we take you from that place of having those angry contractions that cause suffering and trauma, we need to talk about your capacity to cope with the challenges of labor, because that is something that you build and develop. And there is a difference in this capacity and this ability to cope with labor for moms that suffer, from moms that manage labor, and for moms that even have painless births. What do I mean by that? Okay, so these blue circles here, the dark blue, that's the amount of work of labor. That's what it requires you from an emotional aspect, from a physical aspect, from a hormonal aspect, all of it together, that dark blue circle. Now, the light blue circle is your body's ability to cope with stress, to remove adrenaline from the body, to relax and let the muscles do the job that they are supposed to do. And you can see that if your capacity is less than the amount of work, there's going to be pain. And that's okay. There are many women who are fine with that. And we have so much support from the medical world now with epidurals and all kinds of other different medical interventions for pain relief. And they are totally appropriate in cases like this. Now, other women have labors that are more manageable, where you have the same capacity to deal with labor as what it demands. And I believe that almost every single woman is naturally at this point already. A little bit of mental preparation, a little bit of time just becoming okay with the process of labor, and you will be here in no time. Now, on the flip side, if we continue to develop that capacity, the ability of your brain to move stress out of the body, your ability to relax, well, you can have this crazy positive experience that has no pain at all. If we look at that again in a different point of view, in this chart you can see it just becomes so obvious that no wonder birth is so different for different women. We all come into birth with different fears, with different bodies, with different capacities. So we start where we are, and depending on where you want to go for your birth, you just build that capacity piece by piece. And the way that you do that, the way that you train your brain and change your brain to move stress through your body and to naturally come to more states of relaxation is simply through meditation. Studies have shown that moms who have meditation practices during pregnancy, they have less pain, they have fewer complications, they are at a lower risk for C-sections, they have shorter births, and they even have less risk of postpartum depression. You guys, why is that? Well, interestingly, your brain actually changes when you practice coming to these deep levels of relaxation. Your amygdala, the part of your brain that's responsible for the emotions of stress, you guys, it shrinks, it gets smaller. And your gray matter, the part of your brain that helps you cope with difficult situations, that grows. So by practicing meditation, by practicing breathing practices, by practicing things that help you stay calm, you actually expand your capacity to deal with stress in general, especially in labor, through developing more oxytocin productions and more oxytocin receptors so that those connections can be made and you can feel that benefit from the oxytocin your body's creating. You can get that natural pain relief. So, one more thing I wanted to share with you is that moms who practice meditation during pregnancy, you guys, this is so, so crazy cool. You are 50% less likely to give birth early just by learning to manage your stress. So in the resources, you are going to find 5 different types of meditation that will help you prepare for birth. A breath meditation that's going to help you learn and practice and establish strong breathing patterns that will help you stay calm and focused through the most intense moments and help make sure that your body and your muscles and your baby are getting the oxygen that they need to sustain the work they are doing. There are progressive muscle relaxations, which will teach you to relax at a very, very deep level. There are guided visualizations that are going to take you from the beginning of birth all the way through so that you can build up in your mind some muscle memory about how you're going to react and how you're going to feel as you move through labor. There are some mantras and affirmations that will help you build your belief in the process of birth, because it's one thing to know in your head that yes, birth is physiologically sound. It's another way to feel that it is safe and good for you. And there's one last type of meditation in the resources, which is loving kindness meditations. They'll just help you increase your overall feeling of well-being and safety. All right, you guys, if you're like me, you like to know, well, is this actually going to work? And what kind of results can I get? Do you think it will work for you to relax, to meditate, to practice? I hope so. But this is what the studies tell us, that 10% of people can achieve complete pain relief through hypnosis or mindfulness training. Complete painless birth. It is a legend. It's also a reality for some people. And in my experience, I've seen this with moms who are very comfortable with themselves, comfortable in their own bodies, and they naturally have a strong belief in their own ability to give birth, in the process of giving birth. And they have a few other things lined up, such as their baby being in a good position for birth, and not having other complications that are making their birth a little bit more difficult. So when all of these things come together, it is 100% possible for you to have a painless birth. But I know that's not everybody's goal. I know not everybody wants that goddess-like experience, and that's fine. You may still be asking yourself, well, will this work for me? And the answer is yes, absolutely. Studies have shown that moms that go through just 4 days of mindfulness training can decrease their pain levels by up to 40%. You guys, isn't that so cool? That even a novice, even someone who just practices a little bit, will be able to interpret their pain as shorter and softer. You'll have the ability to dwell less on the brain, to fully embrace it, to let it come and to let it go, and to let go of the judgment and the meaning that you associate with that pain. You guys, just a little bit of training is going to get you to where your birth is totally, totally manageable. So in the resources, you will not only find the meditations, but you're going to find a few different schedules with how to use them, because you know where you are now. We all come into birth with different capacities, and we all have different goals for where we want our birth to go. Whether you want that painless birth, whether you want a manageable birth, whether you want the epidural and you just need a little bit to make sure you can manage the anxieties that are just natural and part of birth. Well, check out the resources, choose the path that's right for you, and follow that path for the birth that you dream of. I am so glad that you are here. We have one more video about pain, which is going to be about what do you do when you feel overwhelmed in the moment. I'm going to teach you a great breathing practice to help you immediately release all the adrenaline that builds up so that you can quickly move from a place of feeling overwhelmed, return back to your place of safety and peace and calm contractions. All right, thank you for being here, and we will see you in the next video.